Hey everybody, this is Miss Florida Hot Picks here. I wanted to give you guys an update for Pick 3 California. This was a special request from one of our valued members, and I wanted to share with you how backtracking can help you guys look at your patterns in your state. Normally I like to do the whiteboard, and I like to do about two specific patterns for you guys, but this is such a hot pattern and it keeps picking up with California that I wanted to share with you the last few days and how things could stop but they pick back up. And this is why you have to pay attention to what your state is doing, okay? So hopefully this will be a perfect example for you guys, not just in California but in other states, about how patterns may be specific for your state, but then how they may slow down and pick right back up, okay? So let's go ahead and start. We're going to start backtracking here to December 4th, okay? You guys had a hit midday of 425. Now we put it in this 317 rundown, okay? I noticed with the 317 rundown, this pattern is pretty hot. Now, if you guys want to try other rundowns, feel free to do that, okay? So how do we put one of the rundowns together? Very simple. Once you lock in your last hit, you're going to go ahead and add each of those numbers down the columns, okay? So for that first column, we're going to add 3 all the way down. So we're going to go 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. Now, when we get to a 2-digit number, we're going to use our ones place. In this case, it'll be a 0, okay? 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. Just use your 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. Use your 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So that first column, we started with 4. We're going to end with 4. And then we're going to add our second column, 1 all the way down. And our third column was 7 all the way down. So as you see here, we started with 425. We're going to end with 425. Make sure that your rundown is correct, because if it is numbered incorrectly, that could hurt you when you're putting your predictions together, okay? Now, I noticed something extremely amazing with California. A lot of the hits, guys, are coming in like an L-shaped pattern. Sometimes, and I noticed the hits are coming literally right around the last hit. They may go in different directions, either top or the bottom, or sometimes they'll use the numbers around the mirror. Now, let me break this down to you because some people don't know this. After a certain point of our rundowns, we have what we call a mirrored number. The 425 is mirrored a 970. What does that mean? That means 425 is the same as 970. They're the same numbers, they're just opposite. And you're going to need that because sometimes the numbers or the hits that are coming around the last hit will be around the original number, but sometimes they'll be around the mirrored portion of that. So you have to make sure you're careful with this. Let's talk about what mirror numbers are. Make sure you have your mirrors chart together. When we're saying mirror numbers, we're saying a 0 could be a 5, or 5 could be a 0. A 1 could be a 6, 6 could be a 1. 2 could be a 7, 7 could be a 2. 3 could be an 8, 8 could be a 3. 4 could be a 9, and a 9 could be a 4. Okay? So make sure that you know that after a certain point, all of the numbers are just mirrored. But pay attention to the hit and its mirror form, okay? That'll help you eliminate where to go with the charts. And I like to look at patterns because, you know, just looking around a date some number sometimes is not always helpful because there's so many numbers. But when you can pinpoint an area, that's when things can change for you, okay? So you're going to play on paper first, what I share with you, because I cannot guarantee hits on the channel or in the membership, right? Yes, Miss Florida, you the bomb. Okay, I appreciate that. Okay, so let's take 425, okay? Sometimes the hits will come right around that last hit. So look at this. You got your 251 right here. See how it's cornered like this? 251. It came that evening, 251. Okay, so what you're doing is you're literally taking numbers that are wrapped around. You could have went 258. Excuse me. Make sure y'all can see that. You could have went 258, 258. You could have went 182. You're just going around the hit. Okay, the 125 we have. All right. If you wanted to use your mirrors, you could have went maybe 630. Okay, you could have went 870. You could have went 637. Okay, and maybe trying to say 877. Just giving you ideas. They're literally wrapping themselves around the last hit or its mirrored form. I kid you not. And when you see them and they're coming like this, you have to pay attention to them. I love this for California. All right, so we know where the 251 came in. Let's see how we got the 145 for December 5th. So here we have 251. That was the evening for December 4th. Now pay attention. Remember, we're talking about L shapes. So literally you could take the actual hit, which they did, 514. You could have went a couple ways with that one. 514. You could have went 441 or 445. Anything keeping that L shape, okay? You could have also used your mirrors. Okay, you could have went 996, 990, okay? Pay attention. What actually hit was 145, and they actually use the actual hit. Sometimes they will use the hit. Sometimes they'll use the pairs above or top. That's pretty much what you're doing, okay? So we have another hit, 145. That came the next draw. All right, so let's go to 145, okay? So December 5th, we had 145. Now pay attention, its mirrored form, I highlighted that, is 690, okay? Make sure you know your mirror numbers. So again, we could have, if we wanted to use the hit, we could have said 907 could have been something. We could have said 900, just keep it in the L shape. Let me see here. You could have went above 830, 839, okay? Now this is cool. Why? Because this 907 also comes across. To me, these are the easier ones. That way you're kind of like, I kind of know. And it does happen a couple times when the hit not only wraps around that area, but it comes across. This is my favorite one right here. So if you like those, maybe to help you eliminate numbers, maybe those are the days you want to kind of keep this pattern. But 907, it hit the next evening, December 6th. Look at that. And the cool thing is, like I said, not only did it wrap around those areas, but it came straight across. Okay, let's look at another one. That's why I couldn't do it on the whiteboard. It's too many of them. Look at this. Another one. 781 was the hit for December 5th evening. Now you have your 781 and you have its mirror, 236. Now they use, just like these, they went back to this, they actually use the mirrored pair. So 369. Look at that. 369. It came the next day, 396. So you're seeing the similarities. I like it when they do use the pair numbers, because at least you kind of know where to go. But if they don't, maybe pay attention to if the number is running straight across. So when you really look at this, get a feel of what's comfortable for you. Your goal is to spot the pattern and stay on it, because like I said, you want to look for things that keep coming up, okay? Watch this. I don't think I saw anything. It might have been a little cold here, and that's okay, because they'll be hot, and then they'll cool. Now watch this. 035 was the hit. Pay attention. 342, it also goes straight across. 423 came the next. I like that. See how it did with the 970? It did it here with the 423. It came the next draw. So that could be maybe easier if you wanted to kind of eliminate so many possibilities. That could be something for you. 342. Now this one was a little cool. 423. Its mirror was 978. And I know these false triples might throw you off. But again, 781 could have been something. 786. It just go in L shape. The pairs up top, 618, 617. Okay. Maybe even the pairs on the bottom, 858, 857. You know, just look at those. 618 came the next draw. So this was December 8th, midday. This is hot. This is smoking hot. So I want you guys to pay attention in California. You're looking, those hits are either coming straight across, they're wrapping themselves around that L shape, around that last hit or its mirrors, you guys have to pay attention. All right. I hope this helps in California. I hope it helps a lot. I'm just looking here to see if I see anything here. If anything wraps around 307, 563. That 563 is very interesting because its mirror is 856. Pay attention to that 563. I'm liking that. But any of the numbers really, 258 could be something. If they're using the actual pair, 185, 812. I like that 812. That's been traveling. 636. All right, 635, and have fun. You know, you don't have to put them all, but just pay close attention to what's going on. Anyways, I gotta go, but I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. We'll see you guys in the next video.